Welcome to Straight TV. I'm your host today, Gamma. Which ones do you want to be? Do you want to be the ones that find love, peace, joy in life? Yes, I do. Or those that suffer the separation? The ones that live in turmoil, sadness, uncertainty, and never find joy in life? But how? How can I be the ones that find joy, enlightenment, and peace, happiness, a life fulfilled? How? Well, most of the time, the answer is in our face. Yes. Look at a mirror. What do you see? It starts within ourselves. We have to start by changing the way we think, the way we see everything, the way we talk, the way we embrace life. Have you heard of this term before? What you say flows from what is in your heart. In other words, everything that spews out of our mouths is coming from our heart. It's coming from the content of our heart. By changing the content of our heart, we change the way we talk, the way we feel, the way we think, the way we see life. Your heart is the most important and priceless asset in your life. Have you ever thought about why, when we were kids, we learn to share? We learn not to be mean to others, to respect, to help. Why do you think there was such an emphasis on us as kids learning these attributes? Because by nature, we have a bad heart. By nature, we have a primal stage, a primal heart. But why do you have to settle on a primal heart? You, in part, are discrediting yourself by having a primal heart, by accepting that I'm incapable of something better. Don't limit yourself. Do not limit yourself. You and I are capable of something better. Why do you have to settle for a primal heart? Everybody is capable of reaching a higher consciousness. What is preventing you from reaching a higher consciousness? The content of your heart. We have to look into our hearts. What's the content of it? You know what's going to keep your heart in a primal stage? Have you thought about that? There are several things, several elements, and one of them is resentment. Resentment towards anybody, probably because you were treated unfairly. Maybe from a joke, to some people it was funny, but to you, maybe it did hurt your feelings deeply. And resentment turns into anger. Anger will turn into hate. But somebody may say, well, I don't feel hate. I don't to anybody. Well, if that's you, you are lucky. You are lucky that you haven't developed hate for anybody else. When you have these feelings in your heart, you know what's easy? It's easy to be vengeful, to slander, to talk bad about people, to betray, to defraud. All these negative attributes that you wouldn't like on anybody else, we would slowly start doing ourselves. And when we've allowed these bad feelings to nourish in our heart, we find ourselves living a bitter life. A bitter life with bursts of excitement here and there. Not happiness. No. When all these feelings are in our hearts, there is no happiness. We find bursts of excitement here and there, but not quite happy. And also, we start developing envy of others, especially of others that found happiness. And also, I start imagining in my mind ways to get somebody fired that I don't like at work. or make my parents sad or disappoint my wife or my kids. And by that point, we've lost all compassion. And we ourselves are selfish. We don't care for anybody else's needs. We are arrogant. It's never our fault. We find excuses. We point our fingers to everybody else. It's everybody else's fault but mine. And we find ourselves with less and less friends. Those bursts of excitement that we had here and there are less each time. And also, we went from having resentment to the point that we hate now other people. It doesn't stop there. We will end up hating ourselves. Why? Because these feelings are alive. These feelings are like a virus. They grow and they grow and devour all good feelings and good attributes from our heart. And it all started with a little resentment. It all started maybe with a little petty feeling. Resentment from being a victim of an unfair action. And I said victim. Don't put that in your mind. I'm a victim. Accepting being a victim embraces resentment. Don't. Victimhood doesn't walk by itself. Victimhood goes hand in hand with resentment, with anger, with hate, with vengeance, and so much more. You experience something horrible, sad, and unfair? Maybe, But instead of holding resentment or anger or hate for those who did this to you, instead feel sorry for them. Feel sorry for them. Why? Because they have a primal heart. But you are working your way to find a higher consciousness. And it starts within you. Feel sorry for them because they are stuck in a primal stage. But you are working your way to find a higher consciousness in your life. And everything else will turn into happiness, joy. It's unfortunate that some of these feelings that we are talking about, finding love, peace, joy, they are used so loosely now in our society that sometimes we even may think, do they really exist? Or is it just a fairy tale? No, they do exist. Happiness, joy, peace, love, they do exist. But now we are surrounded by evil. We are surrounded by bad people. We are surrounded by bad hearts. So much so that we doubt it. We doubt that we could achieve that consciousness, that good heart. But I'm here to tell you that it is possible. It will take work, yes. Patience, of course. Time, absolutely. But you can achieve it because your heart, it's your most priceless asset in your life. Stay tuned for part 2, guys. We will keep talking about this. There is no way that we can sum this up in one episode. Thank you.